Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you can see from the title, it's going to be some first impressions, try-ons of a bunch of new makeup. Not particularly a full face, but enough products to try out to just like have a good old time. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna actually start off by letting you know what I have as my sunscreen. I did use the Shiseido Ultimate Sun Protector Lotion, and I had gone out earlier this morning, put this on before I went out, and so far I'm a fan of how it applies. I think it was just the right amount of moisture for the outside of my face, not so much the center, but I mean that's not going to be the first time for me to have a product not work in my oily T-zone, but I do like that it doesn't have a cast. I think I might want to do my eyes first just because I have so much blush. I don't know how I'm going to be doing my face to try all of them out. We'll figure it out. But for right now, I'm going to start off with these brow pens. I have the Benefit Brow Microfilling pen in light brown and the ABH brow pen in dark brown. Now, I'm still learning how to use this. But what I've been doing so far is using the Benefit one just kind of to outline, most especially the front portions of my brows. I will admit that my color selection for both products far off. I think I should have gone with possibly a medium brown, but I will be making use of the product. It's not like I'm not gonna use it, you know? Spend the money on it, might as well. I feel like it's too warm. You can really tell the difference between my brow hairs and the product. And I am finding this is a lot more time consuming just doing my brows with a pencil or a pomade. But I mean, that's the whole point, right? Just trying out new products, taking the ABH one and just making small little flicks. I think if I had a lighter shade, the product won't look as harsh because this product happens to go on a little lighter than how it sets. It sets pretty dark, and so it just looks really weird. Like I'm barely touching my skin. So I would say there's definitely a learning curve, but it's fun. I may not like it, I may not stick to it, but I'm glad I tried it, you know? So let me do the other brow. I'm just gonna do the same exact thing that I did on this side to this brow, and then I will be back. All right, so here we have the brows filled. Just bear with me as I try to figure out these brow pens, but I mean, I don't think I did horrible. But also, besides getting used to the product, I need to get used to the idea of these like fluffier brows. My brows don't naturally look like this, so it needs some getting used to as well. Like trying to mimic hair strokes where I don't normally grow hair, it's kind of weird. But let's do eye primer. I have two. I think I'm gonna do ABH on this side, and I'm gonna use the e.l.f. Putty one on my left eye. So this is what the product looks like. I think I'm going to take it on a brush. I usually apply eye primer with a brush. So starting off with the e.l.f. Putty Primer. It has been years, possibly upwards of 5 or more, since I've used an eye primer. It's a territory that I haven't gone into in some time. It kind of feels like a stiffer paint pot. I bet this would work a whole lot better if I were to melt it with my fingers. Now taking ABH, and this one happens obviously to apply a bit more creamy. It's in a squeezy tube, and those are definitely a lot more liquidy than anything that comes in a pot. So I'm gonna do the same eye look using the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eye Palette Pillow Talk. This is going to be a little bit of a adjustment to using primers because I've gone accustomed to using my concealer, and so trying to avoid putting my concealer on my lids or foundation for that matter is gonna take a little while. I don't really see creasing when I use concealer, which is probably why I haven't stopped doing it. And you know, in all honesty, it might be because I don't use makeup long enough to really tell whether or not that's the case. I use makeup for just like barely a couple hours. But so far it's applying pretty nicely on both sides. Seems to be applying pretty evenly. There's no patchiness. Simple eye look, by the way. I just really want to try out the products. Oh, the concealer. For concealer, I'm gonna mix that new concealer with my old one. Easy blend, because the palette was very good since I first tried it. It seems like there's a little bit of patchiness right through like the center where I'm blending it. Just a little, not a lot. Here we go. I think in terms of that crease shade, the ABH one did better. I don't think I should have a problem with applying a lid shade. That does well even without primer, so let's just plop something on. There are some MAC brushes where I just look at it and I know what it is. 224, 221, 239, 217. Those are just brushes, like you just know what those brushes are. And that's if you actually use MAC brushes. I say those numbers and you can just like envision what those brushes are. I think those are the core 4 brushes. If you wanted to include 219 for the pencil brush, then core 5. And like I expected, no problems with the shimmer. Just goes on beautifully. Well, that's why I wanted to do this first. I forgot the main reason why I was doing this first. I wanted my eyes to have some time to just kind of settle in, and hopefully by the end of the whole video I can give you a little bit of an idea of how it's wearing. So now let's use this magical thing. This is the Bobbi Brown Corrector, and I have it in the shade Peach. I actually put on a lot more than I normally do. You see that? Look. What in the bananas? It's such a difference. Look at the shade. I would have never thought. Where have you been? I could have used the one I put on here for both eyes, but it's just like, it's a game changer. Look at that. What is this sorcery? Wow. Here's the Revolution. Need to open this up. Revolution Conceal and Define, and I have it in C12. And let's do Born This Way on one eye and mix that in with the Revolution one and see if it isn't as bright. There we go. Yes. Amazing. Too Faced one definitely brightens up my under eye, but not quite like this next one. This will be the real challenge. I kind of expected this to work pretty well, and it did. By the way, the Too Faced one, it was in the shade Almond, and this is the Boing concealer in number 2. Look at this. Who the hell did I think I was? So I'm just gonna do a little dab. Look at how bright that is. That's insane. Just apply that right on top. It's a little bit brightening. So just a little more. And I think we can make these concealers work. I'm just about done with that Too Faced one, so I'm primarily going to use the darker concealer for this one. Let's do Creme. Let's do the Shiseido on one side. This is the Minimalist Whipped Powder Blush in Momoko, and I'm gonna do Honest Beauty on this side, and this is in the shade Peony Pink, and it is their Cream Cheek Blush. I love the smell. That's pretty. It's just like a flush. You see that? Guys, forgive me while I have to adjust because I'm getting lighting from every single direction. I get brighter a lot easier, but that's stunning. And it's so easy. Like, it's so easy to blend out. Let's see. Oh, I didn't show you what the product looks like, by the way. Here we go. It's kind of a tangerine mandarin shade. I thought it was going to be like a powder mousse. That's the way it felt on my hand. Yeah, it kind of dries to this kind of soft powder. Yeah, because this still has like more of a sheen, and this looks more, a little bit more of a like a powdered matte. You know, like the powdered lipsticks, those cloudy matte lipsticks. It's sort of that same finish, but for the cheeks. They're both pretty. This is, you would think this will come off really pigmented, but it's just like It's just a little kiss of color, and I love the shade. So there we have Honest Beauty, and here we have Shiseido. Now, I don't know how I can try on as many blushes as, you know, I'm wanting to try out. Let's do Buxom. This is in Seychelles. I think it'll fit more on this side. And then, you know, maybe I can do 2 and 2. This might work. I'm gonna do the Bounce and Blur on this side. I'm gonna do the e.l.f. one on this side. And I'm gonna do the Georgia Benefit Georgia blush on this side. That's nice. I'm not over this smell. Move away from my nose. The sheen on it is a little purpley, especially mixed in with that pinker blush. I think it's just a nice flush. Do you see that? I hope you're able to see the kind of like that lavender purple glow that it's giving off. All right, Georgia. Yeah, don't let me get any further than that part of the song, because I will burn your ears off. Horrible singer. And I'm gonna put this right on the apples. Ooh, glow. That smells delicious. This is definitely a softer blush. It's barely giving me any color. And remember that I did put something under it, so it's almost as if it's like a blush topper for someone of my complexion. Ooh, look at that glow. Look at that glow. So there's my entire, ooh, look at that. Those are 3 different blushes all together, and it's perfection. God, this blush smells amazing. This one smells gross, and this one smells amazing. I don't like coconut scents. I know, Annabelle, I thought you're from the islands. I am, and I don't like the smell of it. Now, for this side, we're gonna do e.l.f., God bless me, and then the Bounce and Blur. I think I'm gonna do this one on the outer portion since it's darker, but I'm gonna wipe off my brush, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap into that e.l.f. one and then like tap off the excess. See, like I'm already getting color and I was tapping it off. Now that I have it on my cheeks, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this is a blush that I want to keep. Maybe someone can have it, if not for blush, definitely for an eyeshadow, because I don't use colors like this on my eyes regularly. It is a good blush. It requires a bit more work than I'm willing to give. I mean, I had to wipe off the product. I am looking forward to the other shades though that I purchased. I just think a shade like this is not meant for my makeup preference. So next one, we have the Bounce and Blur. And this one does have like really fine glitters, almost like maybe like a little bit more of a refined Orgasm. You know, Orgasm has those specks of glitter in it. It's kind of like that, but a little more refined. Oh yes, lay it on me, blush. It almost looks like a terracotta brown. Just beautiful. You see that? Guys, I'm still not done receiving my blushes. I'm sorry I let you down, but I haven't let you down in any other category, so I'm going to accept my shortcomings. All right, my battery's gonna die soon. I need to like speed this up. Wisp Super Shock highlighter, Super Shock cheek. Whoa, Annabelle, that was too much. Ooh, but I like. This is interesting. It's not a heavy highlighter. The first application was my fault. Look at that. It looks wet. Is that because it's got a little moisture in it? Because on my skin, this doesn't look like highlighter all that much. Huh. I don't hate that. Yeah, it's like, it doesn't even look like glitter or anything. It just looks like a almost icy, not icy, like a soft icy wet consistency. I don't have a formula quite like this. You see, like it just looks, it's just wet looking. And that's it. I think that's pretty much the majority of the makeup that I wanted to try on camera for you guys. Majority of the blush hit the eyeshadow. Let's look at that. No creasing on both sides. so far. I feel like maybe some oil might be building up a little bit on this eye. To be expected. This was a lot more liquidy, but I mean, there's no creasing whatsoever. It just has a little bit more of a glisten to it compared to this side. That is my first impressions of quite a bit of products, predominantly cheek, but there are more hauls to come, more items to come in, so be expecting me to try out a few more things. But for this video, I really do hope that you enjoyed it. I will list all the products down below. I'm not sure if this is going to go up on Instagram, but everything that I did use I will list down below. So till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.